I'm Tom, and I got to witness in person live at Manchester one of the greatest heavyweights on the planet currently go to work and get what was an incredible fifth round knockout. What an uppercut, bang, like a peach. The right hand as well. It was a long time coming. Itauma looked so unbelievably comfortable in that ring. He controlled everything. And look, I've got things to nitpick. I've got a few notes that I was like, having been there, spotting this, spotting that. First and foremost, he's 21 years old. Anything I say where he can improve, he will. He's 21. He's got a decade until he's probably in his peak. We know heavyweights peak later rather than sooner. So anything I say where it's like, oh, he could do this, he could have done that, he'll get there. He'll absolutely get there. But what I don't want to do, and I've seen some people doing it already, is pretend he's the complete fighter, he's the perfect fighter, because he's not yet. He has every opportunity to go and be that. But there are areas of his game where I think Franklin just was not able to capitalize on that. And again, it just comes down to those, there are some questions. But there was also a lot of answers in this. And the first thing I realised, Itauma started so fast. I think he was just confident and excited, and the crowd being there supporting him, the adrenaline got in there. Just wanted to see if he can get him out there early. Clearly couldn't, right? Couldn't. I mean, 5 is still early, but do you know what I mean? Like in the first 2, realised, nah, he's not going to go that quickly. I can't maintain this pace. Lesson learned. This again, he's 21 years old. You need to learn that lesson. Lesson learned. Sat down in his corner, blow in, and goes, I can't maintain this pace. Good. That's what these fights are for. He's learned now. He's learned I can't do that. He's probably learned he's a bit too heavy. He needs to focus a bit more on some S&C, some conditioning, because as he fights these better fighters, where he does go a little bit deeper, even if he knocks them out in 8 or 9, he's going to go a bit deeper. He needs to be able to condition himself for that. Lesson learned. Started super fast. And I actually think now, we've not seen Itauma go beyond 6. We've not seen him step into the 7th round. I don't even care. That's fine now. To step in there against a top 15, top 20 heavyweight who has never been stopped and has been in there with the likes of AJ, never been stopped, and to knock him out in round 5, I don't even care. Now look, I said before the fight, and I stand by it, Franklin isn't all he was made up to be. If you watch him, he's living off the fact he lost to AJ and controversially lost to a shit Dillian White. He's living off of that. So he controversially lost to a shit Dillian White and then lost pretty handily to AJ, but because he didn't get knocked out, took AJ the distance, he would get, battle scarred AJ. He's living off of that. He's got no real credible wins. And every fight since AJ has been questionable. I said this before the fight, and I'm not going to just change that. I stand by that. I don't think he's the opponent everybody's made out. But I think the performance against that opponent makes up for that. I think when you go in there against that type, because what would have happened if Franklin did better, if Franklin took in the distance, it would have been this whole, oh yeah, but Franklin's this and Franklin's that and Franklin's really good. So for me, the flip side to that is when you go in there against an opponent who I think, yeah, top 15, top 20, and you do that to him, fair, absolutely fair. The opponent wasn't top caliber, but you've done that, you've made him look journeyman standards. You are ready to step up and just, yeah, because the way he controlled the fight is something that even AJ couldn't. So he comfortably lost to AJ, but Itauma controlled that fight. Itauma had more of a footing. Itauma didn't let Franklin get anything better and more than even AJ, which is seriously crazy for a 21-year-old heavyweight. Itauma's speed is better than 99% of all heavyweights. I'm not going to say he's got the speed of a middleweight. He doesn't. He's got the speed of a good cruiserweight, a very good cruiserweight. He is quicker than almost every single heavyweight. I don't really know. I mean, look, Usyk's losing a step. I don't even think he's quicker. I don't know who's got faster hands. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe Ruiz, but I think Ruiz has lost it as well. I don't think there's a heavyweight on the planet that's got faster hands. And when you can put that much power behind it as well, so you're getting hit by that much power from a punch you don't even see coming, it is just a clock of, I'm getting knocked out. When? Because he is so fast and so powerful. I don't know who deals with that. The only thing I thought when I was watching that fight, he doesn't have angles. He's very quick and he moves back and forwards really good, and he manages the range and the distance so well. He was just out of Franklin's range pretty much the whole fight, just in his range pretty much the whole fight. And he was able to, every time Franklin would go and clinch, he'd step back quick enough to stop that. And the distance management was brilliant, and the speed as well. But what you see someone like Usyk, and again, we're having to go up to Usyk here. When you see someone like Usyk, the angles they can get, the angles they can spin to and work with, is perhaps the only thing that's missing from his game. So at 21 years old, if I'm sitting there saying the only thing I really see him lacking is angles, and it's not really taking away from his game because the speed and the distance management makes up for that, the way he can get back and forth quick enough, makes up for that. It's just like being able to get the punches. The punches that Usyk can get off because he works the angles is really good. And that's why Usyk doesn't really need, kind of, if you've got them both, you've got them both. But he doesn't really need the speed anymore because he can work the angles well enough to where he doesn't need to be in and out of range quickly like Itauma is. So he negates it, right? When you're 21 years old, and this is what we're looking at, you are ready for that big step up now. Itauma is ready. Itauma is ready for the big step up to a Wardley, a Dubois, a Hrgovic. We need to put Usyk in his own little corner and stop saying he can trouble Usyk. He can't. You need to realise there is levels to every sport. There are levels to it. And like when we saw Errol Spence versus Crawford, and there's levels, and Crawford versus Canelo, and there's levels. There's level. Usyk is, if he stepped in there with Itauma, you would just realise, no discredit to Itauma, but Usyk just is that good. Just is that good. So let's put him away. Anybody else, Itauma's the favourite. I think he beats Wardley. I'd love to see that fight. I think he beats Dubois. And I'd love to see that fight. Parker's a great fight. Joseph Parker, great fight. I think he beats him. I think the reality is, though, at 21, you just don't need to rush it. You just don't need to rush it. For me, wait for Hrgovic. Put him in there with Gassiev. I like the Gassiev fight. I think the Torres fight is definitely a good one. I think that's one of the three. Hrgovic, the Torres fight, or Gassiev. Other than that, Cabial, Wardley, Dubois, Parker, that's next after this fight, because why would you rush it at 21? But I think he beats the lot, by the way, except Usyk. We are seeing something genuinely special here. People, your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and ask stuff with people. Peace.